Hey guys, welcome back to Library Says. My name is Jamie, and today I'm doing the book sacrifice tag. I was tagged by Kristen at Perks of a Book Flower. I will link her video down below. Let's get started. Question number 1, or I guess it's not really a question, it's more of a scenario. Scenario 1, an overhyped book. Let's start this off with a zombie apocalypse. Let's say you're in a bookstore just browsing when BAM! Zombie attack. An announcement over the PDA says that the military has discovered that the zombies' only weakness is overhyped books. What book that everyone else says is amazing, but you really hate? Do you start chucking at the zombies knowing that it will count as an overhyped book and successfully wipe them out? For this one, I'm going for Shadow and Bone. Woo! I feel the hate. I feel the hate radiating off of you. I think it's overhyped. I read those books first after Six of Crows had come out, but I hadn't read it yet. And I almost didn't read Six of Crows because I was so let down by Shadow and Bone. It felt like typical YA. A special chosen one who doesn't know she has powers, a love triangle where everyone knows where it's really going. And I was just kind of let down by everything. I think the most interesting part of that series is the world building and the Russian mythology or Russian folklore that Lee pulls from. All of that was very cool, and I really liked the magic system. But as far as the series itself, the characters, the plot, and I also was really disappointed with how the series ended. But I fortunately did read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom eventually, and I loved both of them so much. So thank goodness I did not let Shadow and Bone dissuade me from picking those books up. Scenario 2, a sequel. Let's say you've just left the salon with a smashing new haircut and boom, torrential downpour. What sequel are you willing to use as an umbrella to protect yourself? Easy. Allegiant. Moment of silence for Allegiant. I loved Divergent. Loved Divergent. And granted, I was a teenager and it was full on dystopian, like that was what people were reading and that's what was being published, and I was obsessed with Divergent. I thought Insurgent was okay, but I was really hoping it was just a case of like second book syndrome and the third book would bring it home. So the third book, let's story time for a second. The third book came out when I was in grad school. I worked an overnight shift in a science and engineering library on my campus. So 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Just me and one other grad student and a security guard in a 2-story, like 50-year-old library. And I finished Allegiant at like 3 in the morning and then wandered the stacks very dramatically. Definitely haunted also, but that's a different story. And just felt like I was in a fog of disappointment, a fog of anger, a fog of, what else was I in a fog of? Just definitely a fog, okay? It was definitely a fog. And it was really disappointing. I hate everything she did with that conclusion to that trilogy. Obviously, there's the thing that everybody knows about that was the worst choice ever for many reasons, but also the lack of character development. Honestly, I felt like every character devolved from any character growth that they had had over the course of the series. I thought that the junk science she leaned on hard in that third book was nonsense and infuriating. Like, if you're gonna make it a science thing, do your freaking research, Veronica. Anyway, I didn't like it. I will gladly sacrifice it to a rainstorm to protect my smashing haircut. Scenario 3, a classic. Let's say you're in a lecture and your English teacher is going on and on about how this classic changed the world, how it revolutionized literature, and you get so sick of it that you chuck the classic right at his face. That sounds like me. That's something I would have done. Because you know what? This classic is stupid, and it's worth detention just to show everyone how you feel. What classic did you chuck? Also easy, The Sun Also Rises. I had to read this in 11th grade AP Lang, and I really despise Ernest Hemingway. I'm sorry if you're a fan. Obviously, a lot of people are. That's why he's a classic author, a world-renowned author. I think he was a raging misogynist, and I think his writing is overhyped. I had to read The Sun Also Rises, and honestly, you can dig and dig and dig and come up with whatever you want about reasons why it's amazing, and I'm still gonna tell you it's dull and overhyped. And Hemingway's a hack. Sorry. 4. Oh, this one's rough. Your least favorite book of life, because we're staying very undramatic with this one. Let's say that you're hanging out at the library when bam, global warming explodes and the world outside becomes a frozen wasteland. Very, Day After Tomorrow. That's also in a library. You're trapped and your only chance for survival is to burn a book. What is the book you run to? Your least favorite book of all time. What book do you fully not regret lighting up? 50 Shades of Grey. I'm sorry. It's garbage. It's garbage. It's fun garbage in that, like, it's sexy garbage, but I did read all three so that I could talk about them. I could actually have developed thoughts about the series. And I've actually watched the movies many times. I think the movies are the kind of trashy, sexy fun that people liked the books for. But for me, the books are very poorly written. Like on a technical level, grammatically, the lack of editing, the lack of development of plot, of characters, backstories. We just throw backstories at these characters but don't really substantiate any of it. And it's not actually sexy. It's just not. It's scary. And I'm not talking about the BDSM because I know a lot of people in the actual BDSM community don't like the 50 Shades books because they don't like how it represents BDSM because it's not real BDSM. 50 Shades of Grey is about an abuser using BDSM to get away with abuse. Not just sexual, physical, mental, emotional, so bad. And people who think it's romantic, I want to sit down and have a chat with you about why you think it's romantic. I have no trouble lighting up the 50 Shades books. All right, and the fifth and final scenario, this is one that Robbie came up with, and it is backpacking through the mountains for 7 days. You lose your backpack with all of your food. The only thing available to eat is your collection of Harry Potter books. Why would you be hiking with all your Harry Potter books? That's quite a load.
They're a necessity.
Anyway, sorry. The only thing available to eat is your collection of Harry Potter books, and you have to eat your least favorite of all 7. Which is it? There's no debate here for me. It's the Order of the Phoenix. I'm sorry. It's the biggest, so you'd get the most out of it, but I think it's the biggest to its detriment. I think she was a literary phenomenon. She was bringing in bajillions of dollars, and so her editors were like, do whatever you want, instead of reining her in and really working to edit the book down to what it really needed to be. And so it's too long. I think it does have its slow, dull moments, and I think it's the only one of the series that I believe has that. And also, the mood is so dark and so depressing, and it personally, for me, gives me such anxiety for him, Harry, to know as a character that Voldemort is back and he really knows what's going on, and to have no one believe him, and then the whole scenario with Umbridge at Hogwarts, and just, ooh, it's, for me, too much. It takes everything I have in me to get through it when I reread the series. No contest. It's gonna be the one that I eat in the event of that being necessary. All right, so that's everything. Those are my picks for the book Sacrifice Tag. I tag M at I Forgot Salt, Monica at A Monica Reads, Laura at Laura Reads Pages, and Erica at Arabucks. I want all 4 of you to do this tag. I can't wait to see your answers. If I didn't tag you and you want to do this video, consider yourself blanket tagged, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.